Marco Bortolami from Treviso to Sale Sharks, from the Lions to the Sharks. This news open a new chapter for Italian rugby and Italian coaching, because it's going to be the first time for an Italian to leading Premiership team, the senior team, because we have a lot of really good coaches into the academies, like Leonardo Mattoccia, our friend in the Fratelli Rugby podcast. But this time is going to be the first time. And Marco Bortolami, one of the Italian greatest rugby captains with Parise, one of the few Italian centurions with 112 caps, is making history already, because and he also made history in the past, because he was one of the youngest Italian skipper when he was just 22 years old. He's always been known for his leadership, tactical intelligence, and defensive discipline as a coach and also as a player. He really transitioned seamlessly into coaching after a really long and interesting career, spanning Italy, France with Narbonne, Gloucester when he was captain too, and Ironi. And after hanging his boots from 2016 to 2021, Bortolami served as assistant coach at Benetton Rugby under Crowley, overseeing forwards and set piece. In this era, the era between 2016 and 2021, was interesting because there was the new switch into Italian rugby, because the period of Crowley brought professionality into this team, and after, with the starting of the Rainbow Cup, there is really the step up of the Treviso team. It was long 4 years, if we think. If we look back, because he was appointed as a head coach just after the Rainbow Cup in July 2021, when Kieran Crowley resigned from his position. He took charge of the national team a little bit after Franco Smith. So what was Bortolami for Treviso? Well, he transformed Treviso into a competitive force in the URC, and he started making big steps into the EPCR, Challenge Cup and Champions Cup. Probably the best Treviso we have seen was the one that played in the European competition, but not in the URC. If we look back in the first season of the 21-22 season, Benetton closed as a 13th place, missing the playoff, and it ended up in the round of 16 of the Challenge Cup. The year after, 22-23, the 11th place, but made history for the first time, because never before an Italian team reached the Challenge Cup final, lost against Toulon. Also against Toulon was the round of 16 in the Challenge Cup the previous year. In the 23-24, the 7th position, the playoff qualification, and the Challenge Cup semi-final for the second time ever, lost against his former team Gloucester. 24-25, 10th position in the URC, and narrowly missing out on playoff by 2 points, but securing big titles, being able to win first of all against La Rochelle, but securing anyway a Champions Cup round of 16 for the first time ever, lost after against Castres. His teams were known for their defensive organization, the accuracy on set piece, and the technical kicking, with a really, let's say, South African approach. Kick everything you can, put pressure in the opposite team, and players and staff frequently highlighted this calm demeanor and meticulous preparation. If we look back, some of the key quotes of Bortolami during the last years at Treviso were like, defense, heart and synergy, that's our identity, and I never doubt the process, we just had to find a way. And it's going to be interesting how Sale Sharks find their way to keep pushing hard in the top of the Premiership, and not only there, but also in the Champions Cup and Challenge Cup in case. When Bortolami was announced his departure from Benetton 1 year before his contract, there was a big big shock in Italy. Nobody was expecting like that, but he was really looking forward to pursue a new challenge, and he found this new challenge abroad. And the president of Treviso, Amerino Zatta, praised his role in elevating both the club and Italian rugby culture, and we have to say that because that's really true what he did with Treviso, of course with a different budget compared to Zebre, but he helped a lot to grow up that group of players that are now part of the Italian team. Let's talk about Menoncello, Zuliani, the captain of Benetton Treviso, Lamaro, Ruzza. Let's say, if we look at Treviso, we look at the national team, and a lot of really good stuff happening with the national team came from the daily work made by Bortolami and his coaching staff during those years. So, Selchuk appointment happened the June 12 of this year, and when they officially named Bortolami as a head coach on a 4-year deal, which is great because in this way he's going to work alongside with the director of rugby, Alex Sanderson. And some of the highlights from the press conference we can say is, of course, the tremendous challenge, as he said, excited and honored to be there, and but it's a really tremendous challenge, fantastic way to start, because they are on the same page with the director of rugby, Alex Sanderson, and also they know really well each other for years, as mentioned by Bo. They share a really clear vision for this club, and also it's interesting what Sanderson spoke about, because he said literally, I'm excited about working and excited and honored to work with him, but also I've known Marco for a long time, and I always feel more intelligent when I spend time with him. I think he'll challenge me, and there is certainly already a base of respect and trusting relationship there. And of course the good words by the director of rugby, Sanderson, didn't end there, because he also said that there is a huge coup for the club because Marco is an international level coach, but that's the level that our coaching needs to be, because that's the kind of team we've got here. An international team, an international coach, they want to show more and more. And then the physical point, because there's always been key for Treviso. We love physical battles. Sale always been a tough side to face, and we'll build on that. And there are no limits for this squad. It's about identifying what to improve to make the next leap. With some changes already happened into the locker room, because a couple of players already left. Jean-Luc Duprez is one of them. Marius Lowe came into the team as a new player, and Jacques Vermeulen from Exeter. So a couple of big changes. There are some players retiring, like Harrison, Taylor and Beaumont, all over 30 years old. John Neal, of course, is another one, and Will Addison. Those are some of the players that already left. And then there was also we have to mention Yakalevu, that never been part, let's say, of this. He didn't show up his best as when he was a player in Toulon, and of course then the prop Nick Skönert, that he left to play for Japan. But let's talk about what he can bring to this team, because of course we're talking more about the mentality of this team, the approach. Let's say his signature style of tactics and philosophy for Bortolami are, of course, structured defense, organized pressure and physical line speed, accuracy in the tackle and precision in set piece, with a smart, we said, territorial kicking game. And on the other side, on the attacking area, like the multi-phase style of play, usually is really structured, with attacking patterns focused on exploiting space, wide, strategical kicking, and there is a lot of physicality request in the breakdown to be really aggressive. And all of this, what is interesting, is always part of the emphasis on players-driven leadership and tactical adaptability of the team, because we have seen the existing philosophy under Alexanderson really leans on physical forward and dominance, defensive line, really ferocious, pragmatic and territory-first approach. They are areas of dominance for Sale Sharks where Bortolami's coaching DNA align perfectly. We have to think about, because he really value Marco Bortolami discipline and mental resilience of the team, and he believes success starts in training through attention to details and constant improvement. Let's say that his philosophy is centered on team first culture, defensive work rate, relentless defensive work rate, winning collision for set piece dominance, building leaders across the squad, and empowering, as we mentioned before, players to make intelligent game management decision on the field. It's really a firm believer of the controlling the pace and the shape of the game, adapting through the match, and playing smart and physical rugby, fundamental that really resonate this in Sale's identity in the last season where Sale reached the playoff semi-final. Really great season with a fantastic George Ford, and had one of the league's best defenses in the Premiership. One of the best, probably, if we have to mention one fantastic performance from Sale, maybe was the 38-0 win over the Bristol Bears. And also so we can mention that his defensive record and the tactical control were really the standout strength of this team in this season. So from captain of the Azzurri, mastermind of Treviso, now is gonna be in charge of one of the most physical squads in England, and the appointment of Bortolami honestly is all about ambition, because he's a really ambitious coach, and the defensive discipline, the tactical structure and the winning culture that is already within Sale can really edge to claim really heavy important victory or European honors for Sale. So if we think about the team that we've seen this season, and with some changes, we can see a couple of parallelism between Sale Sharks and Treviso, because Alexanderson used to play a lot Robert Dubrez, a former fly half, as a center, as a number 13. So maybe this season will be the same, as Brex was the second playmaker for the team. Maybe now Robert Duprez will be in charge of that kind of attacking principle, of that leadership and that playmaking needed, as we see with and of course a better kicking option in this case for Sale. And on the other side there is Marius Lowe. Marius Lowe really really strong center. So if we want to compare, maybe him or Ragheti Masi White can be the other player, the other center that will be in contest for a jersey, for the number 12 or number 13 jersey. So Ragheti Masi White, Marius Lowe, they can be the option. Sometimes we've seen also Luke James playing last season there, and of course the wing, a lot of work for the wing, and it's going to be interesting how Aaron Reed and Tom Rubuk will be playing this season, and it's going to be usually a maverick style of fullback, which is Joe Carpenter. So these are the players, everybody all around the 9-10 connection. With Rafi Quirk and Gus Ward, they can really play, and they play that style, like the English number 9 that was in the Uren in the last couple of years for Treviso, and of course George Ford, everything around this player. So if we look at the forwards, Bevan Rod, Kowandiki, and now it's going to be interesting, like Asher Opoku will be a solid key player for the future of the team, like in a certain way like Mirko Spagnolo was in the last couple of years for Treviso. Then Dan Duprez, of course, is going to be one of the, with Ernest Varrin, Tom Curry, Ben Curry, and Vermeulen. Those are the big names in the lock back row position. And let's see also what's going to happen with some young players coming from there. Maybe Ben Bamber, the 24 years old, is going to find more space this season. But I'm also wondering what is going to happen with the players like if we think about Benetton, players that we didn't see for a lot of time, and probably they will not be part of that season. And let's see more than everything the transfer, because maybe there's going to be a couple of new transfer coming, and who knows if some of them will be from Italy. It's going to be interesting to understand where they will go with the decision around player transfer, because if we look at the young players they took, they have Nathan Gibilu, of course, the hooker for from the Harlequins, is 22 years old. They got from Northampton another back row which is 19 years old, really young. So now the two players in Jacques Vermeulen, South African, former Exeter, and Marius Law, former Lions from South Africa, 29 years old. So I'm really looking forward to see what is going to happen. So if we think about these players in the field, what we're going to see and how these 15 they can fit into Bortolami system of idea for what we have seen until now. For sure, big mobile pack. They need to dominate collision and line-out control. The key to a structured forward-driven platform is going to be strong scrum, even stronger line-out, where we can play first, second, third, first phase or strike move, and then multi-phase, always driven by quick move behind, pull pass, stuff like that. The defensively resilient back row with Ben and Tom Carey and a big ball carrying, they are the style that we've seen in Treviso, even if we think the approach of the other players they got during the years. They always loved a big number 8. Big number 8 for Treviso was key, and they tried to do the best now with Cannone, but also with the other player coming in. The Samoan choices in the previous year, there's always that idea. The game management of the 9-10 axis with the quick tempo and full control of the match is going to be really important for the varied pace and territorially attacking the opposite 22 without the ball, or maybe just pressuring, charging down. And then, of course, the centers, they have to be built on defense, but also on going forward. So it's going to be interesting how Marius Law will bring those meters, those gaining meters into, and how Rob Duprez will be part of this Brexesque style of play, and the balance behind, because we have speed, error control, and a reliable 15, because it looks like a really reliable 16 for the future too, the young Joe Carpenter, the 23 years old. So this is pretty much about this kind of play of coaching. If we think about Bortolami, we always been picky as an Italian commentator about what happened at Treviso, because we want always the best for Treviso. But at the end, we have seen a really strong Treviso in some games, and probably with the culture in the Premiership, with the quality of some of the players already in the squad, the level of the team will be up, will be stronger, and so probably, my guessing, also Bortolami results can be really strong. And of course, they want to finish at least for the playoff next season too. It's gonna be interesting, and I will mention a couple more of media press commentary by Marco Bortolami, because it's really important to say that he mentioned the culture, because he said, I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to the culture and to the performance of the team of the pitch. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to impact, it's going to be part of this new process in the new Sale Sharks, with the different position into the managing, with Alexanderson up there in really hard-working style with Marco Bortolami. That's it for now, and if you want to watch more of this kind of video, let us know, please, guys. Let us know.